Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things.
Hi you guys, welcome back to another episode of Life with Z. This week's episode is all about those final days of December and all the fun Christmas activities to wind down the year. I look forward to sharing with you a few of the fun things we did to celebrate the Christmas holiday, so let's get started. Hi you guys, it's Christmas Eve and today we are doing some sugar cookie baking. I'm really looking forward to it. These are my favorite Christmas cookies to bake. So we're going to be using my favorite sugar cookie recipe and dyeing frosting in lots of different colors. I can't wait to show you one of my favorite Christmas traditions, baking these cookies and decorating them over the top. So we're gonna do that, and then we're also gonna make our gingerbread houses at home, watch some Christmas movies, have some hot cocoa, a cozy Christmas at home. Hopefully you're enjoying your Christmas and holiday season with your friends and family, and I look forward to spending the time with you, so let's get started. Alright you guys, starting off with mixing our frosting colors, I'm going to show you a few of my favorite tools, starting with this Wilton Color Right dye that I'll be sure to link below. It's the best way to get bright, vivid colors. And then of course I use my Wilton piping bags and all sorts of tips in order to get those detailed frosting designs. It works perfectly every time, and I'll be sure to link all these things in the description box below. So when it comes to mixing frosting colors, I have zero chill. So here is the color guide that comes with the Wilton Color Right system, and it basically tells you all the different combinations you can use with a cyan, magenta, yellow color wheel in order to mix those perfect shades of frosting. We're not just sticking with the red, green, blue this year, we're going over the top. This is my favorite time of year and my favorite baking activity to do, so we're gonna make sure and do it right. And one tip I have is to start slow with the dye. It's hyper pigmented, so I usually just start with a few drops, get the perfect shade, and I typically go darker first. So I'll make the darkest shade of, say, a green or a blue, and then I add more plain frosting to lighten it up and get a couple variations. You'll notice I'm just using canned frosting here. Honestly, it tastes the best, it's easy to work with, and it saves a little bit of time, knowing that I'm going to be spending a couple hours dyeing frosting and baking cookies. So I've used this canned frosting for years. It tastes great, it holds the color well, and saves me a few extra minutes in the kitchen. Here's an example of how I'm taking the darker blue frosting that I already made, adding a bit of plain frosting to it to make a lighter blue. This is an easy way to get your tones to match, but having different shades for dimension or different designs on your cookies. And here we are using those piping bags. So this is essential in order to get those detailed designs. And over the years, I found the best way to fill these piping bags is using a large jar, taking the bag, turning it inside out, and then filling it with the frosting. This holds the bag upright and prevents you from getting extra frosting on the outside of the bag. So we'll fill our piping bags, and then I'll show you how I seal the ends with rubber bands. It's an extra step, but it really goes a long way preventing a mess as you're frosting your cookies. I like to base my colors off of colors that match the cookie cutter designs I'll be using, and I felt like this light brown would be perfect for gingerbread, reindeer. So you'll notice I have basically every color of the rainbow. I don't make orange because in the past I really only use it for a few details. So as I'm picking my colors, I'm really thinking about what I'll use most with the cookie cutter designs I have. It's Christmas Eve and there's desserts and baked goods everywhere, so I like to have a little nutritious snack out and available for us to munch on just so that we make sure we're not eating only sugar all day long. So here's a little holiday snack board I like to whip up. It has some veggies, some dip, and some baked chips as well. Now that we have all of our frosting ready to go and some snacks out to munch on, it's time to get baking our sugar cookies. So I start by rolling out the dough, and we have quite a few cookie cutters collected, as you can see. This is a tradition that my husband and I have had since we first started dating. Every year making these sugar cookies together. So we like to cut out all the shapes together and then get them baking in the oven. This is my favorite sugar cookie recipe, by the way. I'll be sure to link it in the description box below. It's pretty simple, doesn't require any chilling, and the cookies turn out great every time. This year we decided to bake the Christmas cookies on Christmas Eve and decorate them Christmas Day. It made for a fun activity to fill our Christmas Day and something we can look forward to. So here we are using all those beautiful frosting colors and decorating our individual sugar cookies. This is such a fun activity, and we really enjoy spending the time together and being creative and making these beautiful Christmas cookie designs. We aren't professionals by any means, but we really have fun being creative and creating intricate designs on our sugar cookies each year. Like I mentioned, I use the piping bags and tips for all the colors, but if we want to have a smooth surface, we pipe out the frosting and then just spread it out with a knife. Another tip I'll share with you about this canned frosting is while it's really soft and easy to work with when it's fresh, if you leave the cookies out overnight, the frosting will harden and make the cookies that much easier to pack up and store or gift. It's definitely not a royal icing that will get crunchy, but it's hard enough to protect the design for storage. In past years, we've had a busier Christmas Day, but this year it was nice and quiet, and decorating these cookies was a great way to fill our day. I've always baked them earlier in the season, but it really was something nice to look forward to and a fun way to spend time together and be creative and celebrate the holiday. So as we wrap up our Christmas cookie decorating, we were starting to get ready to have our Christmas dinner. And as I'm sure most of you know, I'm a vegetarian, and I know I've made videos on adjusting vegetarian dinners to be friendly for both vegetarians and carnivores, but I was extra proud of myself this year because I made an entire Christmas dinner at home and I got strategic. So I never look forward to baking a turkey or a chicken. It's just a lot of work for something that I won't enjoy myself. But of course, I want my husband to have something he'll enjoy. So this year, my hack was to make all the sides fairly simple, nothing over the top. We're just doing the standard green bean casserole with canned soup and canned green beans, and we'll do a simple stuffing, store-bought rolls, and all those extra sides. I'll make a salad as well. But my trick was to pick up a rotisserie chicken from the store the day before and then heat it up in the oven. I made a little aluminum foil tent for the chicken and baked it for 30 minutes at 350 degrees, and then decorated it with rosemary, some fresh cranberries, and sliced orange. And I thought it looked beautiful. I was really proud of myself for pulling together this table kind of last minute, and I think it looks beautiful and everything tasted great. The star of the show for me was the butter tree that I picked up from Publix. If you watched my Thanksgiving vlog, we had a butter turkey for Thanksgiving, so it only felt right to have a butter tree for Christmas as well. On Christmas Day, we enjoyed opening up our stockings and a few small gifts for each other and watching movies. and I decided to make a fun festive cocktail for us to enjoy. So we used some martini sparkling wine, and then I added the sparkling drink mix that I picked up from my trip to Connecticut earlier this year. I've been saving it for a special occasion, and Christmas was the perfect excuse to add a little sparkle to our holiday drinks. And they turned out so beautiful. Look at the glitter here added to the glasses. It was so beautiful. And that flavor of cranberry peppermint was absolutely delicious. As Christmas Day came to a close, the last activity on our agenda was to make our gingerbread house. And this year we decided to use the kit that I picked up from Trader Joe's. I love the unique shape of the pointed roof, and it was the perfect size for us to complete together. We decided not to use the royal icing that it came with, but just some of the extra frosting we had from decorating cookies earlier. And it worked really well to hold the house together. We weren't doing anything over the top, but just wanted to keep it simple and fun. So here we are decorating our gingerbread house to wrap up our Christmas day. You already know, since I am the self-proclaimed candy queen, I had to go over the top with the candy decorations. What came in the kit was not enough, so we had to get some M&Ms, some Mike and Ike, some gumdrops. We had licorice, chocolate Santas, everything under the sun, and it made decorating the house really fun. So here's the finished product. Greg did one side of the roof, I did the other, and I think it's so cute and charming, and I love how it turned out. Before we wrap up our final days of December, I had to show you an experience we had earlier in the month at the Nashville Zoolumination. This is an annual Christmas light show that they put on at the Nashville Zoo, and it is truly breathtaking. They have these over-the-top, beautiful light installations, and I was pleasantly surprised to see they change the installations every year. So this will definitely be a Christmas tradition for us every year. Last year, the lights were more Asian themed with kind of beautiful houses and sculptures, and this year there was more of a floral butterfly garden theme, which I absolutely loved. I didn't think it could top last year. Last year was so beautiful, but this year was my absolute favorite. So, you know me, I have my popcorn and my hot cocoa, enjoying a little snack and taking in the beautiful light show. They had a little North Pole village where you could get your photo taken with Santa. They had a little barn with donkeys and different animals, and it was just so charming. Really got us into the Christmas spirit, and I absolutely loved it. The light installations here are actually made of fabric and metal. So it's a metal structure covered in fabric, illuminated from within, and some of them are even animated and can move, but they are absolutely stunning. They're huge. Most of them were larger than me, some of them even 20, 30, 40 feet tall. These huge sculptures, and when you go in the evening and see them all illuminated, it is truly stunning. This year they had a new feature, or at least new to us. They didn't have it last year. This Smashville ice rink hosted by the Nashville Predators. And this outdoor ice rink was so amazing. So it was 55 degrees. So the fact that they had a actual real ice rink outside was amazing. And being from the north, we love ice skating and all the outdoor winter sports. So we were so excited to see this ice rink. They had skates you could rent and you could skate. They had Christmas music playing and you were skating amongst all the beautiful sculptures. You could see quite a few of the light installations from the ice rink itself. And I was so impressed that they were able to have this ice rink with such warm a temperature outside. It was so fun. In the center of the zoo, over a little pond, they have one of the stars of the show, this beautiful sea life display with all of these sea creatures, and the fact that it's illuminated and floating on the water just takes it to the next level. It's so beautiful. And then we continued walking through the zoo. They had so many different little themes and scenes set up. They had a little tropical pineapple party. They had, of course, lots of different animals all dressed up for the holiday season. And we really just enjoyed walking around and seeing all the beautiful installations they had to offer. The Nashville Zoolumination takes place at the Nashville Zoo every year from mid-November through early February. And from what I've seen, it looks like a lot of other major cities in the US do light shows like this at their zoos. It really is a great way to get out and enjoy some festive lights when the days are so short and it gets dark so early. I know it's a favorite tradition for us, and we especially enjoyed it this year with these beautiful light installations. They also had a feature this year with this fluorescent glow-in-the-dark light feature. They had all these mushrooms painted and trees illuminated with the black light and this cutie little snail. So that was a favorite for us for sure. And then we had to go back through the row of garden lights. This was probably one of my favorites with the huge illuminated butterflies and flowers. It was so beautiful. There were truly so many different installations to see everywhere you turned. There was something more beautiful than what you saw before, and I'm only including the highlights, but I would highly recommend, whether it's visiting Nashville or if you have a similar light show at a zoo near you. It's so beautiful, and the things they can do with this fabric and wire and lighting, it's just amazing. I don't remember anything like this from when I was growing up, and there were quite a few kids here too that were just absolutely in awe. Like, look at this, all these beautiful flowers. They make it look like they're just growing in nature, but they are these stunning light installations. And the size of some of them, like I had mentioned before, this house, or I don't even know what she would call it, but giant temple was so stunning. I mean, that's the size of a building. So we enjoyed it, just listening to Christmas music, seeing all the beautiful light installations around every corner, and it was a really great way to wind down our December and wrap up our holiday festivities. So I just want to thank you so much for the last year, for sticking with me through all these videos. I've really enjoyed making them for you. And I love this little community that we've built here on YouTube. Make sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed today's video and subscribe if you're new. And check back next week for a brand new video. Bye!